Racing. Shanahan behind the wheel of a BMW is part of the RCP prep in the car. Daigo Saito comes out swinging. The Ninja is back on American soil. How's he going to do with that Babe livery here coming in? BC Racing suspension coming in. That first outside taps a lot of wheel. That wheel went really hard in that first outside zone. Now transition, and then the second. He is bouncing all over the place. Shanahan really has nowhere to go. So Daigo on his initiation, Daigo says, uh-oh, as he goes into that second half of the Shanahan Daigo Saito battle. This is good for Shanahan to build some confidence, being behind the wheel. There goes Daigo Saito, unfazed. Shanahan gets out there. Boom, puts it right there. Daigo Saito under the bridge. You can see them, decent proximity. Again, sharpening the knife here. Coming around in that last inside clip, Daigo Saito dives in, kind of a beeline approach. Yeah. You saw Daigo really kind of here. Yeah. Like, I've seen this movie. Come on. All right, here we go. Our final battle of the Great 8 here in preceding bracket. Both drivers are in, given their qualification, but this is advancing on. There is a purse at the end, so there is a prize award money for the winner overall of our preceding brackets. Here we are in the seeding round of 8, Haley versus Shanahan. Remember, Shanahan called the competition timeout. We haven't got clarification on why he did, but we do know he's now out back of Andy Haley. All right, this evil AutoWorks BMW, Andy Haley, good. He kind of rolled into it. Shanahan was aggressive in that chase position. Good fluid line there from Haley and Shanahan. He spins out and continues on. Didn't look like there was contact. We'll see if he hung him up, but Shanahan, he spins. Justin Smash with the drone getting the shot right there on it. It like he was crawling and then just barely backed it in. Yeah. But let's take a look at it again. But Haley will advance on. He'll go against Hobson.
Oh, yeah.
And then Brutski.
Look at that. I mean, look at that. I say that as Jack's bent over the car. But, yeah, no, that tire, I mean, it exited chat.
And then we have Madison and Stuckey. Sorry, that's the other battle in the Great 8.
That's
Odie. Oh, yeah.
That's not good. No.
You need your tire around it.
That's not supposed to be like that.
No.
It's a real bad case of losing a tire.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Very to drifting, but a newcomer to Formula Drift. So excited and did not have an easy go yesterday. Had some problems. Yanked on the handbrake. Caliper flies off, explodes that back right. You found that out. Thank you for the communique there, Jacob. But let's go to the competition now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Shanahan is 100%. But he's going against Turk, which is definitely on it. Here we go. That hot half of that squat down. Gets all the way out there. Outside zone 1. Boom, outside zone 2. Shanahan shaking on third as the Irish driver, the Formula Drift Pro rookie for this season, but no rookie to drifting. Boom, pops around that last inside clip. Well done by Turk and Shanahan, former champ. So he's got him in his corner. He's got him in his ear. Here we go. Or not in his ear. He's not spotting for him. He's giving some setup. Here we go. Shanahan, Jack, not Connor. Welcome to FD. And look at that. Turk dials it back. He goes to the middle of the track. Shanahan gets all the way outside zone 3. He taps that wall. Ryan Turk transitions in that last inside clip. And Shanahan brings it around. I'll tell you what. We are going to go to a side-by-side.
Yeah, we are.
BC Racing, go for gold. Fun fact, Connor Shanahan, when he entered Formula Drift Pro competition, who did he go against? Ryan Turk.
Oh,
touch your face.
Not even flinch.
Here we go, Ryan Turk, Shanahan. Not once, not twice. This is it. Our third battle between these gentlemen. We're only in the 32. Ryan Turk and his that back bumper, that Toyota GR Corolla. 1, 2. Shanahan not flinching at all. That third outside zone. Now bringing into that final inside clip. Shanahan attacks. There he goes, little Shanahan sandwich. They're watching the live stream. The hot pits are over on Shoreline. Shoreline, for reference, is basically just behind the judges' stand. It's an actual public road that both next weekend IndyCar utilizes their pits for IndyCar and multiple different sanctioning bodies, including us, Friday and Saturday night. Also tomorrow, Peterson Automotive Museum, Ken Block, KB Day, all weekend. So tomorrow, Peterson Automotive Museum, come out, Jacob, maybe see you there, we'll see. Here we go, Jack Shanahan out front, Ryan Turk in the chase position. Look at Shanahan swinging. Turk, good composure, Shanahan comes into that first outside zone. Ryan Turk, he shallows up quite a bit there now to outside zone 3. Shanahan gets all the way out there. Ryan Turk in the hot pocket. does not get burned. He brings it around, tightens up into that last inside clip, bangs that back left to the back right of Shanahan. I mean, here we are. These guys, again, not Formula Drift Series, by no means new to the sport of drifting. Brudski, multiple champion and pro spec, making the jump to pro, and he's doing double duty. Here we go. Shanahan out front, Brudski in the chase position. Here comes Jack Shanahan ripping that BMW. Looks like Dimitri Brudski comes in hot. Shanahan flings that thing way aggressively. Look at that snap. Into that second outside zone, goes into the keyhole. Here goes Shanahan into the third. Brudski comes up a bit shallow, filling that steering box. Now coming out of that keyhole, how's Shanahan gonna do? Works all the course. Very natural flow. You can see that bump. Brudski taking a tighter line. Shanahan puts that front left into that steering box. Looks like his brother Connor up here joining us.
Yeah, it was raising up. Little Josh Groban drunk there. Here we go. Let's transition into this first inside clip here. Brudski initiates. You can barely see them through the smoke. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Whoa.
All right, and there it is again. Even in the chase, dude, the Shanahan just snapped. The Shanahan snap. Here we go, Jack. Right there, the shadow just moving, man. Yes, sir. Look at that. And the way he is it's just that tight and right. Brudski transitioning. Shanahan cannot be shaken. So Chris Forsberg, like I said, a veteran of 22 years in Formula Drift. Jack Shanahan, not a rookie by any means in the drifting world, but a Formula Drift Pro rookie. So excited to see this battle. We got Shanahan versus Forsberg. Forsberg will lead in that NOS energy drink. Nismo, all new Nissan Z, and Shanahan chasing down the BMW, the strong wheels going around. Forsberg down the hill, initiating. Whoa! Shanahan long way! And Shanahan goes into the wall. Forsberg does need to complete this.
They'll probably yellow flag him coming around, but yeah.
Yeah, there's somebody going across. Yeah, there we go. So caution for Forsberg.
Yeah.
And that was absolutely independent. That was just so peculiar. He went to initiate and it just did not snap back and goes just right into the wall. Now that wall has just taken a lot of cars out this weekend, but have not seen that.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Oh man. The big thing is he did kind of flash a hand out the window. Looks like he's okay. So, you know, that's the main thing here is that Jack's all right. Dang.
Such a bummer. Again, anticipating Shanahan. There he is outside of the car. I know Jack is just a very lovable human being. So O'Sullivan would unofficially. So here we go. Ready to make some noise, Mr. Shanahan, talking about the Jack Shanahan, the brother of Connor, making his Formula Drift Pro debut here this season. Bit of bad luck in Atlanta. He just said, man, Laurent Nickel had a great interview with him, and he said he just glitched. Just had a total mental lapse, threw it into the wall, big hit. So glad to see the cars back together. Tell you what, regardless of the hit, was on one earlier in practice, was ripping. Big old Jack Shanahan, love this guy. Got a big heart, big angle. Dan Burkett, like I said, on that first battle of him and Novak wasn't exactly watertight, man. So he needs to tighten it up. And he's following Jack Shanahan, the best in the biz. New car, new format, new track, a lot of news for him, but not new to the sport of drifting. Jack Shanahan delivers, boom, right there to the wall. Look at that BMW. Look at just firing off. Look at just, you can see that thing just flames, bangs, and booms coming out from underneath the hood of that BMW, pulling that front left off as he goes into that second zone. Here comes Dan Burkett. Yes, sir. So that was an overall event. So I'm expecting a pretty aggressive run here from Dan Burkett. Oh, buddy. Oh, Jack Shanahan snaps back. Looked like he got into a tussle with the wall. Oh, and so does Dan. So there we go. So both these guys hitting, and this is where
this gets interesting.
That could have got sketchy. So didn't look like they had contact with each other. Jack in the chase position hit the wall, and it looked like Dan maybe was independent. That's first glance.
Yeah.
So run it back. That run is a wash. Let's see what Shanahan's got out front. And Fetty in the chase position. Here comes Shanahan across the nose of the Ferrari into that outside zone. Boom goes Jack. And Federico not all the way up into the outside zone. Jack knocks that cone out of the way into that first inside clip, transitioning in. There goes Federico. Again, Very similar line to what we saw in the chase position on his previous battle. Here comes Jack Shanahan right in the crease. Boom, puts it exactly where it needs to. Put down a blazing lead run. What's he gonna do? Is Jack Shanahan gonna get his first FD victory? Seeding brackets. Here we go. Fetty initiates. There he is. Now he puts the car up there high and tight. Look at Federico. Good angle from him. Jack Shanahan now comes down into that inside clip. Buries it in the smoke and brings it in nice and pops it into the pocket. Smoke-filled pocket there by Jack Shanahan and brings it tight to the Ferrari of Federico Sceriffo.
Fede, I mean, dude, probably the best lead run I've seen.
Holy cow, this is gnarly, and that was a few years ago. But the Permatex GT Radial BMW, Dylan the Dozer Hughes going against Jack Shanahan from Ireland. Dylan Hughes sticks it to the wall. Well done by, and look at Shanahan. He's had a lot of turns on this track. The both BMW battle, the All-American Dylan Hughes going against Shanahan. Comes into that smoke line. Again, that right-hand drive versus left-hand drive. Dylan Hughes, textbook lead run. Really well done by Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Wow. Well done by, again, he's 2 wheels, 4 wheels, fast wheels, slow wheels, sideways, slantways, I mean, Willy Wonka, dude. Charlie Puckett. All right, well, Jack Shanahan, we'll see as he gets the cleaner. I'm expecting him to put down a heater of a run. He looked a bit frantic in that chase position. This is where the confidence grows for Shanahan, and there it is. Dylan Hughes, did he expect that? Now coming down into that power alley, Dylan Hughes gives himself some room. Watch him lunge forward because he knows this track. You got to think this is Shanahan. They don't have a lot of banked courses in Ireland or in Drift Masters, and there he goes. Dylan Hughes into that second outside zone and dials it in between Dylan Hughes and Shanahan. That clean air.
Two grizzly dudes. You put them in the forest, I think they'd survive that kind of action. Here we go. Austin out front. Shanahan in the chase position. Austin brings in that first outside zone, now into the second. Austin very clean. You can see Shanahan, this is, only his 4th round with this vehicle. So just getting his bearings. Austin been campaigning this S chassis for quite some time. He gets into the mud, that thing snaps back. Wow, he was deep. And I talked about this outside zone. 4th generation now drifters, I mean, Gucci and his pops were the OG. Yeah. Because Papa Goose drifted. And alongside Ken. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a great conversation. What's that? What are you looking at? Who was it? Yeah, Rod drifted a RX-8 that Tony Angelo eventually bought. The Grenade RX-8. Wow, throwback. Scar. Dimitri Brutsky, Shanahan, all BMW, and a fierce battle. Brutsky drops in, no problem for him. Here comes Shanahan. Oh, that transition. You always talk about it. There it is once again. The Irish transition. Oh, man. That was so clean, so tight. Look at that, put a mint on his pillow like a service maid. In that last outside zone, Brutsky rides that line, flirts with the dirt. Well done there. Man, Jack Shanahan, that transition just, it's like opening, so it's like opening nothing really crazy outside of the condition changes, the surface changes. So I think Jack can put down, boom, right there. Sucks that back bumper up to the wall. Brutsky, like I said, he knows this course. Look at Shanahan flirting with the edge of the course. Bro, relax. This is seeding brackets. This isn't even competition, but this is good exercise. This is, him getting used to that muscle memory, getting it dialed in. Shanahan, a heater of a lead run, and Brutsky, like I said, he knows this course. He's driven it properly. Jack Shanahan, here they go. McKenna Tires BMW initiates in that first outside zone. Good fluidity there and aggressive. Wants to solidify, get the victory here. Shanahan dives in. A little bit short there on that second outside zone, but now finds himself into the pocket. Past the inside clip, and there goes Novak. Oh, right on the course's edge. Holds on loosely and doesn't let go.
Solid, like that. Yeah, Nick Hurdle for him to jump over and really lock down. Once he gets that, though, holy cow, it's going to be a problem.
Unleash the hounds. Here we go. Jack Shanahan, look at that. A lot of handbrake there, bringing it into that first outside zone. That allowed Novak to get in there and get that dog in the fight. Novak and not backing down. Man, throw a T in there, not back. Yes, sir. And now in that last outside zone, Shanahan, this is, man,
Guys, this is a great way.
Right off end of the season.
All right, there we go. I love that. I love that you're driving. Here we go. These are our finals here for our pro seating bracket. Shanahan initiates. TLO maybe still having those tie rod issues, but this let's just keep it off the wall. Let's keep it consistent. Again, this is for 3 points richer if you get the victory. Again, every victory in seating brackets is 3 points. So you want to keep it off the wall, keep it so you can have that main day action. All right.
It looks gripped up. If there was any other damage, I'm not aware of it, but it looks a little quicker than it did previously.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Tommy Lemaire in the Corvette initiates. Bounces his way into that first outside zone. Shanahan tucks in. Gives himself a little bit of room here. Not as aggressive as we saw with him against Novak. Maybe a spotter kind of telling him, all right, let's lay out cars. Maybe not 100. But now in that last outside zone, there goes Tommy Lemaire into it. And a great placement by the car with that clean air. And a little applause from his younger brother.
Yeah, the family support definitely goes strong up here. And TLO's run.
And here we go. All right, so taking a look at Dylan Hughes initiating into Jack Shanahan. And Dylan Hughes into that first and now second outside zone. There goes Shanahan. Transitioning past. Oh, nice job by Jack Shanahan. Great pressure there. Dylan Hughes past that inside clip. Now into that last, and there's that Irish transition. Just drops into formation and keeping their composure. Nice job by Dylan.
Transitions like that, the only time you can make those transitions and make those dives is when you absolutely trust everything that's going on in the car. We're starting to see that with Jack Shanahan.
Here we go, Jack Shanahan out front. The 59 BMW goes on in on the Kumo tires. The car grips up, now transition. Dylan Hughes backs off. That could have been really bad there. Now, look at these guys. I mean, this is a great battle. The proximity, the angle, all of it right now really delivering between Shanahan and Dylan Hughes. Oh, that is a big flame, and that is not where you want to see him coming from. That was engulfed. He did cross the finish line, and let's look. He drives right off. Make sure that was an absolute fire.
Ripping around right now. Speaking of ripping around, we got Fiorella with we're talking about the one and only Federico Sceriffo going against Jack Shanahan. Shanahan knows his conditions. We always definitely toot that Irish horn, but Fiorella, this big old Ferrari, could definitely handle the wet as well. Jack Shanahan, he's surging forward, maybe just keep it consistent as opposed to surging that BMW tight and right. And we can see Federico Sceriffo looks like he is very settled, comfortable in this Ferrari, pulling around the track. And that was Fiorella. I feel obligatory to say that, but now Jack Shanahan out front of Federico Sceriffo. Let's see how he manages, see how he handles, and see if what I said comes to fruition. Transitions into and across the nose of the Ferrari, and there we go, Jack Shanahan. This is what I expected, that 59, the BMW, great looking car. Nice little pocket rocket coming into that second outside zone, and look at that Federico Sceriffo. That big old Ferrari making that BMW look like just that. Goes up, hits that K-rail, and you can see that K-rail jumps the car up, but he keeps on keeping on. In that last outside zone, Shanahan, I mean, absolutely, like I said, you know, these Irish drivers, all right. Moving on and back to the one more time battle of Federico Sceriffo and Jack Shanahan. Here comes Federico Sceriffo. And there is Shanahan, tip to tail. Yeah, the new tires, I mean, why not? So there's smoke, there's a little bit of steam, and there is definitely some debris in the windscreen. Now coming into that third outside zone, look at Fetty, you see minimal corrections going to that third outside zone. Very well calculated there. You can see the bright yellow gloves working his way on into that last outside zone, and Shanahan tucking in.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Actually, Jacob, under the beanie, he is bald. Everybody just let it be told, under the beanie, he is bald. All right, here we go. Let's change the order here. Jack Shanahan out front, Federico Sceriffo in the chase position. In that first outside zone, as I said, that's the Shanahan we know and love. And now Fetty, he gives it back. He twists the screws. They might be Italian, but yeah, they're screws nonetheless. It's a spicy meatball coming in sideways. Now Jack Shanahan in that third outside zone, navigating to the fourth. No one more times. They're going to force an opinion upon the judges and upon you. Here we go. Shanahan, Fetty. Man, dang. Like I said,
you must fix it.
Here we go. So Shanahan out front. Talking
Jack and Burkett coming in. Look at the swing of, I feel like maybe the handbrake isn't fixed, and that's why he's throwing so much angle to slow down the car. Or, I mean, he is ripping right now. Jack Shanahan, smoke machine. Look at that wheel speed. He is jumping up there.
I'm not
now
seeing
coming
those
in.
wheels lock.
Rad Dan Burkett. Yeah, I think he might just be clutch kicking and just throwing so much angle at it to slow it down. Tickle. It's just open dialogue. All right, here we go. And that is not Nick Novak nor Rudy Hansen. It is Dan Burkett and Jack Shanahan. And there it is, the Rat Industries Mark IV Super coming on in. Let's see how Shanahan from the rear handles it with no handbrake. Not getting very handsy, but he is getting that big angle. And look, we don't need no stinking handbrake. Look at this. So, but Dan Burkett, great angle from him, a good lead run. And Shanahan massages it on in. Big angle from Dan Burkett, bringing it on home. And a good effort by both drivers against Novak in the finals. Which one's it going to be? And we got a clear start. Shanahan, we got drier conditions, not absolutely 100% bone dry, but Shanahan rips into that first outside zone. Yo, look at Dan Burkett. Absolutely just flinging that thing to the side. This looks like a final in Saturday's main event. Shanahan places that car properly in outside zone 3. Burkett has to hold up. You saw him just hold composure there, and it ended up not working. He was kind of preloading.
No hands.
That's what he does.
Yep.
Yep. Riding a unicycle. Just Shannon no hands.
Steering with the right foot. It's all throttle.
What's that? I brake with no bicycles. What's that? I can ride mine, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the great song. All right, Dan Burkett, but Shanahan now it looks like the, regardless of the handbrake, he does not have the proximity. Dan Burkett in that second outside zone places the car properly. Shanahan now gains some ground. Burkett puts it into that outside zone 3. Shanahan bounces. He goes all over the place. But keep in mind, Burkett did have that mistake in that last outside zone. So he just speaks softly and speaks French. All right, well, there we are looking at Jonathan Castro and Jack Shanahan. Dominican Republic versus Ireland, Toyota versus BMW, two very talented drivers. Jonathan Castro getting his first ever podium, and here we are into that first outside zone. As we now go into that second outside zone, now into, you can see Shanahan tucking in to the side of the 86. Man, that BMW is small, but it makes that 86 look small as well. The Methyl Dom 86, that last outside zone, he slides on in, and Shanahan tucks in, and the chase run there that Connor has.
Yeah, Connor really likes to get in tight for the transition, whereas Jack will fall back a little bit and then dive in. Connor, he's running bumpers every time.
All right, like I said, couldn't put my finger on it, but sounds like the Canadian fingers. Here we go, Mr. Shanahan leading now, and Castro into the second outside zone. You can see Shanahan, good angle. Want to see that overhead view of placement of Castro's car. Looks like he's a little late to the party. Outside zone 3, now transition to outside zone 4. That's what we're talking about. So you saw that handbrake. See how he coasted in outside zone 4? They really want to see him light off into it, but that's there in the building. Connor competed last year. He is back here again. New car for him, and we'll get to him in a little bit. But right now, all eyes are on Jack Shanahan, big bro, going against Trenton Beecham. Jack Shanahan with the Strom wheels on the corners, the 59 on the door, the pink and white BMW. He will be leading. Jack Shanahan will be leading, or it should be Trenton Beecham. And again, taking a look at it, and okay, so here we go. As again, just want to make sure Jack Shanahan, Trenton Beecham, and here we go. Shanahan leading into that first outside zone. Trenton Beecham right there in the smoke. These guys entering in a second outside zone. Trent really applying the pressure. Like I said, when it comes together for him, he really shines. Jack using all of the outside zone 3. Trent, what the heck? He is absolutely, he's flirting with disaster there. That almost got very sketchy. Not only his team, but himself on how talented of a driver is. So let's see it. Here we go. Trent Beecham's got the clean air. Jack Shanahan drops into formation. Again, in that pink and white BMW, Trent Beecham into the second outside zone. You can see digging really deep. Just painting that outside line, going to outside zone 3. Minimal corrections from those front wheels. Transitioning through. There goes Trent. And look at that. Jack Shanahan tucked in. Oh, give him a little smooch on the head, a warm glass of milk. See if he puts him to bed here with that run.
Yeah, man, I would not want to be a judge right now. Both these drivers absolutely on form, as you said.
And currently third in points. The other competitors for the championship, James the Machine Dean, currently in second, and Frederick Osbo leading the pack. Here we go, the lights extinguish, and Adam LZ will lead. Jack Shanahan, I expect a big gangster entry, really risking it. in that BMW in the chase position. Bang right there. Look at that. Old school, new school, and we are in the true school. Into that second outside zone. Look at that big angle there from Adam LZ. Jack Shanahan, good proximity. Coming now in that third outside zone. There he is. Now he's lunging forward. Lets him pass on by an outside zone 4. I'm telling you right now, this is exactly what I expected. Make some noise for just to refresh both us and the judge's memory. Here we go, Jack Shanahan initiating in that first outside zone. Adam LZ drops into formation. Adam LZ was talking about not getting ice, but looks like he is cool as a cucumber. In that second outside zone, whatever Jack does, Adam LZ twists the screws and gives it back. Third outside zone. Now, how are they going to handle this last and final outside zone 4? Contact by LZ and pushing Jack Shanahan at pace. Let's see these BMWs initiate into that first outside zone. There goes Dylan Hughes. Shanahan tucking in. Really nothing to lose. Going for that rookie of the year. Shanahan brings in a second outside zone. Great proximity from Shanahan. Look at that. Even more angle than Dylan, it seemed like. Coming that last outside zone, that 4 tucks it on in. Jack Shanahan comes up a bit short. Didn't time here tonight. It is James Dean versus one of these guys. Jack Shanahan out front. He's going to need to put down a heater of a run into that first outside zone. Flirts with the edge of the track. Dylan Hughes chasing him down. Let's see how he manages in the second outside zone. Doesn't have the same degree of angle. Kind of give himself a little bit of room here. Let's see how it transitions in. And Shanahan goes in. Some wavering there by Dylan Hughes. Is that enough? He did eventually get to the outside zone 4. Dozer Hughes will lead. Jack Shanahan giving chase. An American versus an Irish. Here we go in that first outside zone. Dylan Hughes, good and settled. Shanahan lurking back in the shadows. Comes up a bit short, but great proximity. There is that. Let's see him allow that transition from 3 to 4. Boom, right across the nose of the BMW. In outside zone 4 goes Dylan Hughes. I'm telling you, as Dylan progresses, this reminds me of somebody like Tanner.
Because Dylan had a great lead run. Now, there's a few spots that he can make up for this, and the question then becomes, you fill all those zones, you throw something wild, or try and do everything to shake off Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Oh, look at that to start.
Yeah, here we go. Jack Shanahan firing off. Sans that front bumper. Jack Shanahan, good angle, but Dylan Hughes in the chase position. This is what I was talking about. The victory is really going to be decided in that chase position, and Dylan Hughes gets into formation. Good proximity. Is he mimicking it? I feel like we're going to get side by side, because look at that. Dylan Hughes bites off a little bit more than he could chew, and they both cross the finish line. So don't think Dylan timed that transition from Pennzoil Ford Mustang. Here comes Jack Shanahan in tow in that BMW. James Dean across the nose of Shanahan. Shanahan drops back, slides back. Great angle from James Dean. Again, no tomfoolery, but Jack Shanahan dives in the inside. That is not where you want to be. Looks like he is buffering here in this situation. James Dean keeps pace. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Goes in outside zone 4. Textbook once again. Hence the name, The Machine. T2
the championship and the rookie. There's so much right here, right now, as these drivers pull to the line.
A great battle on deck. Jack Shanahan, he's going to try to force an error. James Dean, the finals are here. We know that our Irishman is going to win. Is it going to be Jack Shanahan on his rookie year getting a victory? Or is James the Machine Dean going to live up to his name once again and assume the tie for the points lead after round 5? Going to outside zone 3. Jack Shanahan puts in the right place. James Dean tucks in nicely. James Dean applying the pressure. Looks like, again, he's not going to make a mistake. It looks like James Dean will be earning that victory.
That float going. I said, your car's gripped up, and he pointed to his mechanic. He's like, it's his fault. And again, just finding that secret sauce. What's he got? Let's see if he can bring Dominican's finest back to the box. Jack as well. Again, got his first ever Formula Drift podium. He dreamt about it, he said. And finally, there he is, looking up at James Dean. I mean, everybody looks up to James Dean. He's tall. Jack Shanahan out front, and look at Castro. Boom! Finds it right there. Well done. Jack Shanahan backs it in. Dumps like a truck. What? BMW into that third outside zone. Again, there's that grip I was talking about. Castro, I think, might have got a little disrupted with that bumper tap of Shanahan. Oh, no! Shanahan shuts it down before the finish line. And let's take a look at Castro as well, because we go back to the second run of this battle. If you can recall, Shanahan got into the wall. He called a comp timeout. He had a chunk of his wheel taken out, so he was forced to take the comp timeout. Castro was allowed to change his tire, but he opted not to. So Castro going out in that lead position, and kind of a slow roll into this, but that allows Jack Shanahan to have good proximity there. And Castro, look at, and there's Jack right there. Castro, good angle from him on that outside zone, brings in an outside zone too. So not exactly the highest, but more precision, but definitely escapes that outside zone 3. That allows Jack to drop into formation, into that chase position, and look at right there. So again, Castro, good fluid, nice run, but it wasn't just bam, punch you in the face. So look at that, how quickly.
All right, so speaking of, again, another Irishman, Jack Shanahan. He's going against Daniel Stuckey. Stuckey out front in that Kenna Tires S chassis. Shanahan, welcome to Formula Drift, baby, as he pops out of that smoke. Nice job from him. Stuckey, great angle here. Jack Shanahan, he was on the box, like we said, earlier this year in St. Louis. Stuckey, good placement from him. Very smooth and consistent from Stuckey. This is that was a giving chase, and here we go. Jack Shanahan, love his attitude, him and his lady, just great people off track, and would love to see him back on the box again. But Stuckey says, nah, I'm gonna rain on your parade. I know you're used to the rain, living in Ireland, but right now Shanahan, he's doing it. Great placement of that vehicle. Stuckey having some struggles now. He is just a bit short on outside zone 3. Now coming at last outside zone. Look at that. So. And that was really highlighted that Jack does have the horsepower, because you saw him transition from 3, quick, snappy, right to angle, and he sucked up right back to him really efficiently. Stuckey maybe having a little bit of trouble on 3. He did find that sweet spot.
Now the tandem looks great.
All right, here we go. We got Shanahan and Field. Field initiating that first outside zone into that inside clip, a second outside zone. Now to that big outside zone 3. Shanahan, look at him jump up. He throws too much on it, has to back off. Field keeps a consistent angle through outside zone 3 into outside zone 4. Hammering down. There goes Jack Shanahan. You can see him just slowly working, inching, wiggling his way to the side of Matt Field. Some of the conversations that go out there, and I think it helps educate for that, that 1% that really wants to know all the finite nuances. Just, we see that in any sport, if it's stick and ball or motorsports or shoot, pickleball, cornhole, what are the details, right? The devil's where they live. Here we go. Jack Shanahan out front, and away they go, Coop, as Shanahan and Field tip to tail, initiate into the outside zone. Big, massive angle towards that golf cart. As now going into that outside zone 3. And Matt Field, you can see him come on in, and big execution. Look at Jack, all the way out to the course edge, not lifting at all. Matt Field on the inside, and Jack gets involved with the dirt. Absolutely unhinged.
So this is another one of those
Jack
scenarios.
Shanahan, Field leaves through that start chicane, avoid the bubble, and keep on keeping on. Matt Field, the Borla performance. Corvette initiates. Jack Shanahan, he is tucked in real nicely there into the pocket. Matt Field pulls away outside zone 3. Good angle from him. Now Jack Shanahan, you can see about a car distance from him. Now drops into that 4th outside zone. Field, perfect placement from him. I mean, that was absolutely textbook and clinical for Matt Field. Here we go, Matt Field, Jack Shanahan leading, Matt Field chasing him into that first outside zone, rips into that inside clip, ripping the clip into that 3rd outside zone. Jack places it properly. You see Matt tuck it in. Oh, and both of them are properly in that 3rd outside zone. Approaching the final. How are they going to end this? Remember, this is the second battle. This is the one more time between Shanahan and Field. What do you think?
I think it was a good battle. Yeah, I think it was a good. Ooh, Jack.
That'd be sick. I might fire one up.
Yeah.
I'm an announcer from an ice booth.
Yeah, that'd make for like a weird show.
I'm down to get tattooed while I'm announcing.
Let's make it happen.
Here we go. Matt Field, the Beast Bay. Jack Shanahan, not once, but twice, now thrice. Matt Field around that bubble. Don't pop it, don't burst it. And here we go. Matt Field into that inside clip, into the 2nd outside zone. Good execution, very smooth from Field. A little herky-jerky from Shanahan in that chase. Field fills all that 3rd outside zone. And Shanahan just lets him on by. Both of them very smooth, a little wavering from my flyer. I called the True Serum camera. Justin Smash, more of the video game FPV, as Jack Shanahan playing a video game in real life, IRL. Shanahan initiates, past the inside, does escape him just a little bit. Now into outside zone 3.
You can see him just dive in. Matt Field aggressive in the chase. Shanahan into the outside zone 3. Field allows him a little bit, then dives back in. Not leaving the judge's hands. That's what you don't want to do. And across the finish line.
Yeah, solid run from Jack Shanahan. Other than that inside clip and the way that we are at now, see who ends up taking home the win. Jack is going to lead first, Stookie in tow.
Good attitude from Jack Shanahan earlier with his brother Stookie. Where are you at, homeboy? Join the conversation. Jack Shanahan, oh, wall. That got very sketchy. Woo. I was puckering up as Jack Shanahan leads in that BMW. Again, that tiny little Beamer. And a big dude, Jack Shanahan, into that outside zone. All of them obviously outside zones. Now coming into that last one right in front of the judges' stand. Brings on in Stookie. Little late to the party. That is so European drift stuff. The folklore is. All right, here we go. Stookie now out front. Jack Shanahan chasing him down. And look at that. So you can see dropping to that second outside zone. Stookie, a lot more precision. Oh, look at Jack. That's what we're talking about. That timing, that transition. He just drops it right in the pocket. Those whiskers being used. Now coming into, again, outside zone 6. Look at Jack tucked into the pocket. But I'll tell you what, Stookie definitely showed up on this lead run. But Shanahan just right there. Tucks in. Well done by Jack.
Jack looks good.
Let's take a look. Adam LZ, that Drift HQ. BMW, remember, he's fighting for second.
Oh!
Adam goes too hard.
Happens.
And that was not Jack hitting him at all. It looked independent. Steve Mateus, the Mateus boys in the building. Look at baby Mateus. That is far from baby. Look at that. Look at that broom right there. Wow. We're going to need a broom out here on track. Get Mateus out there to sweep it up with that mustache. Wow. Jump on the wall. What happened? What happened, brother?
I think Adam came in with a lot of heat. Jack was real close on his tail, and I'm sure we'll get to a replay here. But the big thing, obviously, we're hoping that everybody's all right. Jack out of the car immediately to take a look, make sure Adam's good. That was a good hit. That was definitely a good. I mean, it was a bad hit, but it was enough to shake things loose a little bit. So seems like everybody's good. I'm sure for Adam, it's just some frustration, maybe a little.
Here is Jack Shanahan is officially your 2025 Rookie of the Year. Here comes Jack, a celebratory Byron layout. Listen to the Irish driver, Jack Shanahan.
Amazing run there from Jack Shanahan, a bit of celebration.
Run deep earlier today as Kuzi, he's stoked right now. Kuzi cheering on Ryan Turk. Can't miss him in that orange hat, that Turk shirt. Of course, the wig. Here we go. Speaking of wig, shake it like a Polaroid. Here we go. As Jack Shanahan into that outside zone, the BMW continues. And Simon Olsen shallow on that outside zone there in front of the spans. Temps are dropping here a little bit. The cars seem to be gripping up pretty good, but again, the smoke not so thick here coming over the wall, so definitely better vision for the drivers. That might be a technique as well. When they double back, Simon
scared me in the past. They go pretty crazy.
And also like Andreas Backerud, who's a rallycross, he's the homie. They cheer for him, the blue crew. All right, here we go. Shanahan drops in aggressive, not backing down. Well done by Jack Attack. The Jack Attack is on against Simon Olsen, and Simon, great placement by him into that power rally. Now coming in to the S turn. Again, the smoke not a factor. It's not billowing over the wall like we saw previously, so good vision for both Simon and Jack into that last outside zone. Look at Shanahan, his spotter right here to the right of us. He was clinching. Did you see him right here with his hand on his head? He's like,
oh, I know. It's
Ryan Turk and Jack Shanahan, America, Toyota versus the BMW in Ireland. Jack Shanahan, unfazed at all. Look at that, the hot hatchback, the leapfrog jumping in to that outside zone, coming into that power rally. Look at the amount of smoke from Ryan Turk. We'll see if that billows over to the other side of that last outside zone. Looks like it's going towards the water. It's not a factor. But
but it is a factor when it's in the face of the BMW of Shanahan. Ryan Turk puts that back left right in. Textbook, signed, sealed, and delivered. Lick the stamp and send it. Just given everything he's been working on, you know, and I think it's going to be really emotional for him, and I know he wants this. He would really love to get on the podium and, of course, get a win. Jack as well. I mean, just what a season. Second behind James Dean earlier this year. It was 1 and 2 for Ireland earlier this year, but he'd love to get a win and end this. I mean, everybody would. Obviously, that goes unsaid, but I just got to say it. Jack Shanahan out front, Ryan Turk in that chase position. Whoa, look at the timing there. Talking about those whiskers, the drift whiskers, feeling the sensors. Into that power rally goes Shanahan, now transitioning, diving in as Ryan Turk into that second last outside zone. Oh boy, it loops it. Ryan Turk as well, and Turk. What happened there? That got super sketchy. Turk in that smoke continues on. Let's take a look.
Yeah,
I don't think there was contact in that second to last. It looked like. Keeping it moving. Who's gonna get the win? We must responsibly put cars on the line, and Haroya Manoa has to retire. And just like that, the throat chop is on. Haroya steps out of his car, congratulates Jack Shanahan. The car's on fire. And Jack Shanahan will get handed the victory. Round of applause for Shanahan and Manoa. So close. And there it is. Haroya Manoa. The motor explodes in the burnout box. So a celebratory first ever win for Jack Shanahan in the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Shanahan pulls to the line, a celebratory run. Everybody, make some noise for Haroya Manoa, excuse me. And Jack Shanahan, your winner at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. He got second earlier this year and his first ever win as 2025 Rookie of the Year. Jack Shanahan gets his first ever win as the sun sets in Long Beach and on another Formula Drift Championship season. Congratulations to Jack. Haroya Manoa and James Dean is your podium. First ever win for Jack Shanahan. Thank you to our judges, Robin Nishida, Brian Eggert, Reese Marin, and Vernon Zvonveld holding it down for half of the season. Jacob, what an event. But how crazy is that? Haroya blowing up in the burnout box, but Jack gets his first ever win. He better James Dean this time. 5-time champion schmampion. I'm joking.
Oh man, it's just incredible to see that that Jack's able to do it. Obviously, we wanted that battle to go right down to the wire, but an incredible weekend from everybody here, from the fans, from the staff, from yourself, Jared. We barely got any voice left, but we'll bring it home. An incredible season. Thank you so much to everybody, to Xander, Zaley, Ziva, my kids at home, my wife. I'll be home soon. Man, what a year.
Way to hold back those tears, man. It's an emotional roller coaster, not just for the drivers, but the teams, the sponsors, the staff. Drifting is alive and well. I couldn't be any prouder of where drifting is, and I say that because that encapsulates all drifting across the globe, including FD Japan. Hey, Kyle Mohan, I see you, homeboy. I see you down there. Again, the drifting community is live and well. If it's Formula Drift Pro, if it's Pro Spec, Pro Am, if you're doing this in video games, simulators, again, D1, Formula Drift Japan, MSC, Drift Masters, and of course, Formula Drift. 8 rounds, 8 winners. And there it is. Jack Shanahan steps outside of his vehicle, makes some noise for the Irish driver. One of the Shanahan brothers, and it's Jack Variety here this weekend. Haroya Manoa barely, almost brought it to the line. He explodes in the burnout box, but look at that. Irish eyes are a smiling for the first and third position on the podium. Celebratory burnouts from the 5-time champ as he brings Horoya Manoa to the line and to the track. What an event here today. And I'll tell you what, Jacob, this track proved that we can build a track anywhere.
Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. And I'm excited to see where we take it next.
Absolutely. Well, our schedule hasn't been officially now. Oh, there's the brother, Connor Shanahan, giving him the hug. Jack, you did it, homeboy. What a way to end. I love seeing a different winner. No offense to James, but a variety. You know, I was pulling for just somebody different. You know, Ryan Turk, obviously Matt won earlier. That would have jumped him up, but there's Jack's lady, and there's the team all around. So let's officially announce your podium here. We will have a trophy ceremony for this round and for the championship at the podium, so join us over there, please. And there they are. So finishing third place at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, finishing third place, and your 5-time Formula Drift champion, James the Machine Dean. Finishing second place at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, 16 years young, winner earlier this year. He fought tooth and nail. Driver of the Juku Racing 86 from Japan. Second place goes to Hiro Manoa. And last but definitely not least, he gets his first ever win in Formula Drift Pro Championship, your 2025 Formula Drift Pro Rookie of the Year, representing Ireland, your winner, Jack Shanahan. Congratulations. And now I throw it down to Cerise Taylor. Cerise, let's see that big guy cry.
Come here! Oh, gosh. Well, I think you definitely locked in Rookie of the Year. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. This is absolutely unbelievable. It's been a hell of a season, you know, like fighting to get that first win and to get it to do it now. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's unbelievable. I just so happy, very happy.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your family. Everyone here who's supporting you throughout the season. I'm sure that they're stoked. We love to see somebody rise like a phoenix. I'm just so proud of you.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Like it's been like I said, we've been struggling with the car and everything, and then last night we had Dad and one of our good friends come over, go through the car with the team, and it's been better than ever today. So just a massive thank you to Rome Charpentier, all the boys on the team, my girlfriend for making sure that everything goes to plan, that we're here every time, and just everyone, all my partners, everything, and everyone here for supporting me all the time. It's unbelievable. So yeah.
We love drifting so much. To the fans at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody who's still here, give it up one more time. That's right, guys. This was a phenomenal show. We had good weather. Of course, it's Long Beach. We're here. We're closing it out.
Yeah, all done.
All right, guys. What's next?
Hey, go talk to James.
I think we should.